Hello and welcome back together to my weekly update on the financial markets. Sorry for that late update here. I was sick because of that. Not on the weekend this time, in the middle of the week, but better late than never. I want to cover with you, like always, the S&P 500 index on the weekly, daily, and 4-hour time frame, as well as the US oil chart, gold, and Bitcoin against the US dollar. Will show you all my trades, like always, and explain to you what I want to do in the coming days and weeks. Let's start directly in with the weekly time frame. Here the S&P 500 here on a weekly time frame. As I said, what can we see here? We can see that we have a new all-time high here. We have an intact uptrend on the weekly and a broken weekly orange solid downtrend. That's now could get deleted because we have now a new all-time high. I let it in this chart, or I don't remove it yet, because oftentimes this broken trend lines often act again as support as price reaches from below. So maybe from this point on we can expect a smaller correction before continuing the overall trend to the upper side. If we drop one time from lower to the daily time frame, you can see that we had broken daily uptrend lines. Since then, price is not only one direction, except this smaller corrective move to the downside. I was expecting a little bit more. We haven't seen that, so I entered the trade after seeing a higher high, the correction passing to the upper side, and my stop loss was conservative below this daily support zone here and the 200 moving average, so that my stop loss is secured. And even if we would have seen a huge dip afterwards, that I'm not getting stopped out, because I believe that the next major moves are to the upper side and not anymore to the downside. And we have still a MACD divergence, even if we see now a new all-time high. What can that mean? That will probably mean that we will not see a direct push to the upper sides above 6,500 points in the index. I would expect that we maybe see a little bit more upward movement than a corrective move for continuation higher in this uptrend. So yeah, I'm still in this trade. At the moment, a nice profit of roughly 1,000 US dollars. I aim to take profit around the 6,680 point level in the index. Why that? Because I'm using Fibonacci retracement tool from the low of the movement to the high of the major movement, and then you get these retracement zones, and these often act as support and resistance in these markets, especially if you are in an all-time high territory and no price is near to see on past price behavior and zones levels where you can place your stop loss or take profit targets. These Fibonacci retracement levels are useful often for me. So yeah, my expectancy is that we will probably see then something like this, and then continuation higher, taking out my take profit. That's the main plan. Of course, everything can go against the plan, so maybe we'll see a drop down, break of this daily support zone, which protects at the moment my stop loss, and we are retesting this secondary old weekly uptrend. Could be happen if we got bad news, really bad news, but at the moment I don't see that, because new all-time high normally means bullishness and the continuation of the overall uptrend, and we have already seen a huge decline, and that's enough for sentiment to reset and now continue. So overall bullish, keep the risks in mind, and yeah, let the trade run, in my opinion, if you have one, but decide for yourself. That's it, all I have for S&P 500. Let's switch to US oil. US oil starting also here at the weekly time frame. You can see the red monthly solid downward line that got broken to the upper side, and also this monthly resistance zone, which was in the past also support, got broken to the upper side. Since then we are moving inside this weekly correction. You could argue that this is an A, B, C correction, and now we have seen a violation of this weekly orange solid downward line, but it got directly rejected around this monthly support resistance zone at the moment, acting as resistance for price. So maybe it's not a real breakout, we will see, but I think it could be likely, because I was expecting, after seeing a break of this weekly orange support zone, breaking to the downside, making retest, we will see not that far away, maybe break again and continuation lower. We haven't seen that. We've seen a news-driven event, I have to say that. to the upper side and then directly reversed. But maybe the lows are in, because that's a really low price for US oil. Yes, the US administration is working on it, that oil prices or in general energy prices are staying low. So maybe we can't expect too much from this price, but the geopolitical conflicts have the potential for higher oil prices in the future. So don't let them out of mind. And I think it could be time for oil to develop bullish. No guarantee, it's just a speculation, because I don't want to speculate too much. I am not risking so much on this speculation. So I placed already a stop loss, entry level, and a take profit level to get a foot in the door with 0.5% risking of my total account balance, so not much. And if we drop one time from lower to daily time frame, you can see why. Here you can see the daily downtrend that got broken to the upside, violating, like I already said, the weekly downtrend line, and crashed back down. Now at the moment holding nicely here at this support zone, and it seems like it wants to continue again higher. I placed my stop loss, you can see it better at the 4-hour time frame, comfortably below this 4-hour secondary uptrend line, combination with the 4-hour support zone, and below that one my stop loss is placed. My entry level ain't far away. We see a consolidation here. We break that one to the upper side. I get into this long trade on US oil and want to ride this one higher, with the hope that we not see prices below the $59 per barrel level. And yeah, ride it higher, have a foot in the door, and if we see really a new break confirming this downtrend is over with higher highs, then I would get interested here and even increasing my position and probably moving also my take profit target higher. That's a huge speculation, not in money terms, but in, yeah, how can I say it, in factors that prove this. It's a lucky shot a little bit. We got support zones, we got trend lines. Yes, all right, we have a violated weekly downtrend line, but it's not 100% confirmed yet. So just getting a foot in the door and wait for further signs that we are riding in the right direction. If we are not, I will get taken out with lower lows here, and that's also fine for me. All I have for oil, make research by yourself before trading anything. I'm just showing you how I do it and why I do it. That's the most important thing, so you can make your reasoning for yourself. Next, gold. Gold at the weekly time frame looks pretty good to me, at least for a long-term investor. We had this often tested resistance zone. After we have broken that one, we continued higher like a rocket with small pauses in between on the weekly, and we had a couple of crosses in the MACD indicator that always has been the low of the corrective movement here, but this time maybe it's different. You always say that, and then it's happening again like it did in the past. So I'm in a long trade, like you can see. So I'm going with the transfer friend at the moment, but some concerns here to mention. We got the cross in the MACD indicator. We got below the 10-week moving average, and we had a blow-off move here. What's surprising to me is that we have not directly seen a pullback to the lower side, but a strong movement above this consolidation here, and now a retest of that, if it stays a retest and not break down. If we drop one time frame lower to the daily time frame, you can see that the daily white solid uptrend is still intact. That could be a possible retest if we lose this trade here to the lower side. The secondary daily uptrend is still intact. We got here this extension to the upper side, then ABC pattern to the downside. Secondary daily downtrend, that one got broken to the upper side. That was then the point where I decided to enter into a long position and place my stop loss below, you can see better at the 4 time frame, below this 4-hour support zone here to protect my stop loss. That functioned pretty well. It was pretty close. I got stopped out of this trade, but price removed right at that 4-hour support zone, and is now breaking secondary downtrend line to the upper side on the 4-hour in blue dotted. Yeah, hasn't to me that much, but at the moment looking good for me. Can reverse and take me out, and we will see the final turnaround and retest probably at the $3,000 level. That would be at least my first target to the downside if we see a break of this 4-hour support zone breaking down and also losing this daily secondary uptrend line here. So that was the last hold. Hopefully it holds and we continue straight upwards. And at the moment a little bit in loss with this position, but yeah, my favorite scenario would for sure be that we will take out someday this high here and continue into the direction of higher highs. My stop loss is placed around $3,700 per ounce in gold, and yeah, we have chosen that one. You can see that at the daily time frame. It's a little bit in. I already used this Fibonacci retracement tool again from the low to the high of the movement for the correction appeared, and that's a good zone for taking profits if you have no price structure at the all-time high level that can guide you. Placed my take profit a little bit below this Fibonacci retracement or extension level, and this time these are retracements. This is the extension level, this is the second extension level, and that should be a safe play if we see higher highs here that we will at least reach this level before the major correction. Yeah, that's it, all I have for gold at the moment. Let's go last but not least to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin also at the weekly time frame here, you can see that the monthly is far away from price, still an uptrend. The weekly is solid orange uptrend line, also still intact, not broken to the downside. We have recently seen on the weekly a new all-time high and a small correction to the 10-week moving average. We have a slightly divergence here from the MACD indicator to price, but not have seen a cross yet, so not finally confirmed. So there's still hope that we will now see in the next couple weeks and days push to higher highs. At least that's my hope. If so, I would enter another long position to my existing one to increase my position here. More to that on the daily time frame. On the daily, you can see that price bounced perfectly at the weekly uptrend line. The white solid downtrend line got broken to the upper side. We have seen on the 4-hour here a small consolidation. After breaking that to the upper side, I went into a long position, and I already moved my stop loss from the low of this trend to my entry level, so the trade is risk free. I'm placed another trade here. If we exceed the highs here, I would place a stop loss below this corrective movement, or the corrective movement went a little bit lower, or like expected, or not like expected. I was talking last update that we will probably see a pullback to the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level. Yeah, then we will can see then there a bounce to the upper side. We have seen it. That's at the moment an ABC correction. Picture perfect at the all-time high level. And yeah, what normally happens after that is if we are continuation and uptrend, we will see a surprise passing of that retest, maybe a continuation higher, and that would trigger this this entry level of my trade, and my final target is around $133,000 per Bitcoin. And why I have chosen that one, like always, because of the Fibonacci extension levels measuring from the low to the high of the movement, and yeah, placing my take profit slightly below an extension level, this time the $135,000 mark, and that would give me in my trade, I want to open $1,800 of profit, in my existing trade $4,109 of profit. Of course, if that here gets triggered, my stop loss will move between these two here, probably in the midpoint of that, and we will combine these two trades to one. At least my software will do that. Of course, you can see on a weekly cross in the MACD with divergence, and then maybe this is a double top scenario. This is then for the 4-year cycle. This would be the all-time high. It would pretty surprising to me, and we'll turn here over and take out my stop loss level, and I would lose nothing except the fees for the trade, as long as my second entry here not gets triggered. Pretty bullish for Bitcoin, and I'm expecting the next 1 or 2 weeks a push higher probably. No guarantees as always, but the picture looks pretty clear to me at the moment. That's all I have for the weekly update, guys and girls. Enjoy the rest of the week. Happy trading, and until next time. Bye bye.